welcome to my YouTube channel and blog. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another card making tutorial. Today I have a look at detailed Dragonfly Thinlits dies from the upcoming Occasions Spring catalog. They'll be available on January 4th. I'm also using All Things Thanks, which is a all-around thank you card stamp set that I think it's going to be useful in so many different ways. So to make this card today, I'm keeping it really simple. I wanted to use a piece of designer series paper from Serene Scenery, and if you'll recall, that's the set of paper that is called photorealistic. It looks like a real photo, and the colors are matched exactly to Stampin' Up's cardstock and ink. That makes it really easy to know what cardstock and what ink pad to use whenever you use a piece of this pattern paper. I specifically also wanted to use the cluster of dragonfly die that's in this set called Detailed Dragonfly Thinlits dies. To save time, I cut out the thinlits ahead of time, but I wanted to show you what it looks like on the die. And I used another product that is coming up in the catalog called Glassine sheets. I believe they're going to have a spot in a Valentine's Day suite, but I want to try to use them in any other way that I can because they're really nice. Vellum is, of course, a little bit more stiff, but glassine is very pliable. It's almost crinkly. It's just really going to be something interesting for people to work with. And it comes in sheets that are in strips. I also pre-cut a piece of cardstock from white and old olive with the stitching dies to save some time. I used old olive ink pad and All Things Thanks stamp set to get this medallion. I'm going to be placing everything together here with some snail adhesive, and I used some dimensional adhesive to raise it up from the card itself. That's going to give a little look of dimension that's also going to go a long way with making these dragonflies look like they are flying away from the card or maybe floating up above the card a little bit. What I pictured in my mind whenever I put this project together was kind of this paper with the dragonflies. They just really seemed to me to be matched up to one another. So it was a toss-up as to whether I would make one of the larger dragonflies or the bumblebee, because the detailed dragonfly thinlits have a really cool looking bumblebee, and there's this irresistible cluster of dragonflies. I think they are just too cute to pass up. So with them made out of the glassine, then the wings are going to be able to bend up upon themselves without really any assistance from me at all. I used the glue dots to adhere on the part of the body of the dragonfly so that the wings would be able to kind of curl up and come out away from the card all by themselves. To give accent and some more brightness to this card, I'm using some clear sparkly sequins, and I'm using my reverse tweezers to place them. And I have made sure that I put the tweezers and my little sequin box in the supply list. There's been a very popular outcry for me to make sure that I let you guys know, because those are some really handy items for you to add to your craft supply. I am adhering all of the sequins with some liquid glue. Normally I would go for the fine tip glue pen, but this was handy, and I think it's important for me to be able to make sure that all of my craft supplies kind of will work for just about anything. The liquid glue does not dry like a mat. It does stay sticky. So one thing I do for my sequins after the card has completely dried is I use an anti-static tool or some cornstarch with a paintbrush to go over it. Thank you for joining me for another card making video, and I invite you to go to my blog at jennystampsup.com, where there you'll receive a new card making idea every day. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.
Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.